Let's talk about the carnivore diet and mental health. My name is Dr. Ruth Dutton. I'm a board certified adult psychiatrist, and one of my followers recently asked about whether or not carnivore is helpful for mental health and how it plays a role in targeting inflammation. So I've talked about diet and nutrition in other videos, and I stand by my statement that there's no one right diet for everyone. I think we all have different ancestral origins, and there's bio-individuality when it comes to diet. And while there are some things that I think we can all agree on, like that eliminating ultra-processed foods with refined sugars and carbohydrates is going to be beneficial for everyone, there is a lot of nuance and individualization beyond that. So I know that carnivore has been having a moment over the last year or two, and there's good reason for this, because when someone transitions from a standard American diet or even a whole food diet to carnivore, what occurs is a metabolic shift in most cases. In most cases, someone is going to be shifting from burning primarily carbohydrates for fuel to burning primarily ketones for fuel. However, if a carnivore diet is higher in protein and not as high in fat, then this could lead to a person not being in ketosis. So this isn't 100% of people on a carnivore diet. But in terms of the benefits for mental health, a lot of the times we're talking about transitioning metabolic states from carb burning to fat burning. And when I'm saying fat burning, I'm talking about being in a state of ketosis, and ketones are the breakdown molecules of fat, just like glucose is the breakdown molecule of a carbohydrate. In this transition from burning carbohydrates to burning ketones for fuel, it does a few things. One, burning ketones creates much less inflammation and oxidative stress as opposed to burning carbohydrates for fuel. Additionally, many people have insulin resistance, which is contributing to their mental health issues. So by burning ketones for fuel instead of carbohydrates, you're bypassing that insulin resistance issue because you don't need insulin in order to burn fat. And it should be clear that it's still going to be a mixture of ketones and glucose for fuel because parts of your brain still need carbohydrates. However, your body can make carbohydrates, it can make protein, it can make fat. So it's pretty versatile. Now, what makes a carnivore diet unique beyond just being a ketogenic diet is that it is essentially eliminating many potential toxins or irritants that could be contributing to inflammation for someone. So you can think of it as the ultimate elimination diet, right? So for people who have sensitivities to different plant products, so that could be to nuts, to seeds, to soy, to gluten, or any number of sensitivities, if someone transitions to a carnivore diet, then those are going to be removed from their diet and things can calm down. Now, I will say that still eggs can be a common sensitivity, as well as dairy, as well as high histamine foods. So these can be part of a carnivore diet. And if someone has a lot of sensitivity, then they may need to eliminate those things as well. So when you combine being in ketosis and eliminating all of these potential toxins or irritants to someone's system, it can really help with inflammation. And we've seen this not only with mental health symptoms, but also people who have chronic infections like Lyme's disease or autoimmune disorders like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis and rheumatoid arthritis, as well as other inflammatory conditions. Now, that being said, we do not have data on long-term use of a carnivore diet. Anything that we have is pretty much anecdotal experience. And there certainly can be risks associated with this as far as making sure that you're getting all of your essential vitamins, trace minerals, and other micronutrients, not to mention fiber, and a whole host of other issues. So when I think about a carnivore diet, I would think about this as being helpful for someone in the short term, meaning that for someone who has really treatment refractory inflammatory condition and or mental health condition, that this could be a good short-term solution to help calm down that inflammation and then slowly reintroduce things. Or let's say someone's transitioning to a ketogenic diet, they don't want to deal with all of the math of the macronutrients, then a carnivore diet can be a good segue because it's much simpler to follow. Now, can some people be on a carnivore diet longer term and do well? Yeah, we've definitely seen that. Do I think that everyone can do that? Probably not. And we just don't have the data to say for whom it may be safe, for whom it may not be safe, and even what are the long-term risks or safety of being on this type of diet. So please don't embark on a carnivore diet without talking with your mental and or medical health providers. It's important that if you are on a diet of this kind, that you are being monitored closely as far as getting regular labs, vitals, and check-ins with your providers. If you've done a carnivore diet and you found that it was helpful or not helpful, I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments below. Additionally, if you're interested in getting more direct resources and or content from myself, I do have a bi-weekly newsletter that I'm sending out. So if you're interested in subscribing, there's a nominal fee, about $1 a month. Then send me a DM with your email and I'll add you to the list.